I decided to make my first game with the help of my girlfriend Jade and my brother. And in this video I will show you our 2-month progress in which we progressed on mechanics, level design, visuals and music, and how we went from barely a game to almost a game. Let's dive in. We started with an idea of making a party game, a 2-player co-op game to play with your friends on your couch. We wanted it to be fast-paced and dynamic. Lately, I finished university and now I'm left without a job. So I came up with a great idea of using my fear of not being able to pay my rent to create my first game and somehow sell it, even though I never published a game before. So I thought, why not create a game and try to sell it? The logic? Flawless. The execution? Let's see. As with every game project that you start and abandon 5 minutes later, you gotta start with creating your project in an engine. So I did that. I made myself coffee, opened Unreal Engine, the engine I was learning for ages right now, and started working. Our goal was simple. We wanted to have 2 players playing on the same screen. They were supposed to shoot and dash, die and respawn, and also the levels were supposed to be randomized, so you get different level every time you play. And I'm not gonna even tell you how much time I wasted fixing a bug that would disconnect the second controller. And after that, when someone dies, the camera flies off to another level that preloaded off the screen from the pool that I created. So there is a pool of levels. They are in the pool. We take the level and it works. With this already made, we had to decide what would be the core gameplay loop of the game. What would be the fun of the game. So to win the game, you need to be 3 rounds ahead of your opponent. But every round, the loser is gonna get an item that makes them stronger and adds difficulty for the opponent that is currently winning. That's gonna be an item for you because you suck. Now we need items. I needed to program them in so they spawn every time someone loses 2 fights in a row. I added a few random items just to test things out if it works, and it did, almost perfectly. Implementing those mechanics wasn't so easy. There was a lot of bugs that I have to work with. I had to fix them. I fixed most of them. There are still some things like that the whole game freezes when both players die at the same time. But you know, we are gonna fix that later. We are gonna fix that later. We are gonna have to make some solid level design to make those maps feel playable, fair and fun to play. But that is a quest for future Flash. For now, I just created 12 levels as placeholders and they work most of the time. And before I gonna show them to you, I wanna tell you how we spiced them up. Those will be thingies in the level that do stuff. We came up with some ideas, then picked our favorites, and for now I programmed 4 of them. Let me show you. Spike Ball. It deals damage and bounces when hit. Great for ricocheting into your enemy or yourself. The faster it goes, the more damage it will deal. Spike Trap. A trap that activates when stepped on, triggering spikes that deal damage and then hide back. After some time, they are ready to attack you again. When there is a lot of them, they're like running after you. Tall Grass. I'm proud of this one. A grass area where you can hide. Of course, I couldn't just hide the whole character because the player that steers it would be lost. So I came up with an idea that only the shadow of the character would be visible. It is still not working perfectly, but the idea is here. Lastly, the explosive barrel. It's just an explosive barrel. You can push it and then when shot, it blows up. What is the goal that we want to accomplish with our levels? I want to have a big variety of them in our game, and to make that happen, every one of them needs to be special in some way, so they don't seem boring and repetitive. And what to do to make that happen? I don't know, but we have some examples to show you. This is a level I call a city level. It is so cramped it feels like playing dodgeball in a storage closet. There is a lot of tight places, a lot of things you can interact with. And the fight is probably gonna be happening at close range. I love those types of levels because they really put your skills into the test. And here, to contrast that, we have a very open level where sniper builds are gonna thrive. Not a lot of corners and a small amount of things you can hide behind. Next, we have a level with a tight spot in the middle. Players are gonna fight for it to gain advantage over the map. And here is a level with spike traps all over it. It pushes both players to move constantly, applying more action and movement. Yes, variety equals fun in level design. That is true, remember that. So far you have seen our game in a very raw state, without any designs and visuals. So, let me tell you about... In the meantime, when I was programming the game and drinking the coffee, Jade was taking care of the visuals. She did some great job there. She started by creating concept boards, and then from those we chose one that was the greatest, and she had really good ideas, like those here. Dreamcore. This one stuck to us at first because the idea and colors were really pleasing. It was a very dreamy theme with a nice touch of nostalgia and retro vibes. Nature and robots. It contrasts nature with technology. The main color is this nice, comfy green. Space Core. This one is nice with vibrant blues and pinks, but we had a problem with it because space and stars are up there on the sky and our game is top down, so there will be no looking at the ceiling, no looking at the stars, no. And from all those 4 themes, we chose, drumroll, the green one, of course, nature with robots. I just love the comfy green of the grass and the contrast that it will bring with the action and destruction on the screen. Also, it is a really good design practice, you know, the player is gonna look at this grass all the time he's playing, so it is really important that it is comfortable to look at. Here are some assets that the Jade drawn. We are gonna add them to the game in the next episode. I'm gonna put the link to it in the description when it comes out, so we can check that out. Sound and music. This is the time for my brother to come into play, to make some dope-ass music for our game. It's too early to add sound effects to our game, but hey, if you imagine pew pew noises while we playtest, you are halfway there. But back to the music. We have some music already made that we are probably gonna use. Listen to some sneak peeks of the music that my brother made. A little bit of the sample number 1. A little bit of the sample number 2. And a little bit of the sample number 3. And this one is a little harsh. One word about playtesting. It is the most important thing to do when you are making a game. Think if it's actually fun to play. I was waiting a little bit because I wanted to implement item drops to the game. They are like the core mechanic of the game, so why would I playtest? Why would I playtest? And so, when we realized that we have to play our game, I made coffee and we sat down and we started playing. Yeah, the stakes were high. If it would fail, if it would be bad, I would have to go back to explaining to my parents why am I not applying to a real job. I was kinda scared about how the game would feel. Like, to be honest, I thought it would be pretty unpleasant to play. But we started playing and it was actually pretty good. You know, it was kind of fun to play and run around and shoot each other. At this point, my hopes for this game rise to the full, and if we manage to finish it, as we are planning to, I think it might be a banger game to play with your friends. Despite the chaos, there's nothing quite like watching an idea you scrabbled on a napkin come to life, even if it comes with a side of late nights and existential dread. That's our 2-month progress on robots with guns. Next episode we are gonna add visuals and more gameplay mechanics. Once it's live, the link to the next episode will be in the description. If you enjoyed this devlog, please leave a like, subscribe, or maybe even share it with your friend. Yes! Finally, I recorded all of it. All of it. Oh.